Hey there, guys. We finally got confirmation from Global that we're getting the Scorn of the Venomous Vines on this Thursday. So I'm going to be taking one final test drive on the Japanese server to test out the team that I have planned for one of my clears on Global. I don't have Dark Fina on Global, but I do have Palom and Porum, and they can stand in pretty much the exact same way. So we're going to be trying with Warrior of Light with Passive Provoke Evasion Death Immunity. He's got Dual Cast, and he's on Carbuncle for the Reflect spell, which is going to be really useful for some of the mechanics. We're going to be using Folka with Death Immunity, and she's just got high hit points and Spirit and Defense. She's going to be our healer. We're going to be doing Cecil as our cover tank. He's got some decent Spirit hit points, and he's got some resistances. We're going to be doing Riku for breaking, Mirage, and general utility. She can like heal and that kind of stuff as needed. We're going to be doing CG Dark Fina. On Global, I'll be using Palom. I don't have Fina. I might use Noctis instead. I'm not entirely sure if I go with Fina or Noctis, but one of them. Anyway, we've got some Plant Killer equipped to Fina. We've got some decent magic. A little bit low on hit points. Defensive Spirit is on the lowish side, but we should be fine. And we're taking Daikin's Defina, a little bit less magic, but she's got some killers, and he's got a little bit better hit points, defensive spirit, so it should be fine. Let's give this a go and see how it goes. So Dark Fina on the JP server is actually weaker than Global, so on Global this will be even quicker. Alright, so for this ambush, we're just going to attack with the Finas, because they're going to just die, so we're not going to waste their cooldowns and stuff. Warrior of Light is going to cover and mitigate. Cecil is going to spirit buff and cover. Riku is going to mirage and break the boss. That also re-raises for those that are going to die. While Folka is going to give us all the immunities. So here's the ambush. We're going to lose the Finas, and we're probably going to lose Warrior of Light. Warrior of Light cheated death, so he didn't die. That's fine. Alright. And we lost the Finas twice, whoops. Because they came back with re-raise with no mirage, no mitigation, etc. Which is fine, whatever. If they came back, they're good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and raise those two Finas to get them back alive. Wait for that to finish. So now their damage over time is gone. We're going to general mitigate with Cecil. Riku is going to mirage again. And we're going to use a nice heal with Riku, which is going to give some health to Warrior of Light, which is the main thing. And we're going to reapply the immunities with Folka because the Dark Finas came back. Now we might lose Riku and Warrior of Light here. Yep, they both died and came back, so that's fine. They lost all their buffs again, so we got to keep that in mind. Alright, so Riku actually got stopped, which is a little unfortunate because she came back with no stop resist. 2 turns. The boss should be broken for 2 more turns. He is. Okay. Oof. It's really annoying. That's really annoying that happened. Actually, we're going to fix that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and reflect on Warrior of Light, and we're going to dispel to get rid of the stop. So like, Riku, I'm sorry, but I need your Mirage. You can't be stopped, my girl. Alright, so we're going to Mirage, and we're going to refresh breaks on the boss. Cecil is going to reapply mitigation, and we're going to go ahead and swap stances now. Folka is going to... We're not going to heal, we're just going to do mitigations, it's fine. We're not pushing our threshold this turn. And then we're going to start powering up our Fina. So this first turn was a little bit awkward because we got Riku got chosen for the stop after she re-raised and lost all her immunities. But it's fine. So now we're going to start dealing damage. We've now recovered from the ambush. Alright, there's the death. We reflected on Warrior of Light to redirect that death. And there's the Mirage that we, that came in. Alright. Come on. Alright, let's go ahead and put up some bigger breaks. Let's have Folka. Actually, let's have Warrior of Light. Just have Warrior of Light heal. It bounced off himself, but who cares? Let's put re-raise on both of the Dark Finas and refresh cover with Cecil. Folka will give us a barrier and we'll heal for Cecil. And now we're going to start doing our damage. Now we might push a threshold here. Probably not this turn because Finas are still stacking up. You know, we spent like 3 turns recovering from this ambush. But we might push a threshold. The first threshold is at 75%. And I think we actually may. Oh, we did. Okay, so we're going to get a threshold here. It's going to, oh, I forgot about the damage over time. Oof. This might even kill our Finas, which is going to really suck if so, but, you know, it happens. Alright, here comes the threshold. Oh, no, we live. Warrior of Light barely lived, but we're okay. We're okay. Yeah, our Finas, we're not, like, super tanky with our Finas. We're kind of, like, on the edge of survival, but it's good enough, as you can see. So let's go ahead and Mirage again and do that. Warrior of Light. Let's go ahead and do Mitigation with Cecil. We haven't done that in a few turns. Folka. I guess we're going to heal with Folka. Let's go ahead and heal and Barrier. Warrior of Light. Let's put up a physical mitigation. Even though we're miraging, we're doing pretty good damage. And once we go below 40%, the boss is going to start doing double physical AoE. And it's a good thing we did, because I didn't realize we were going to push that much damage. Wow. So we pushed the threshold on the 50%. So we're going to get an AoE at the end of the turn. Warrior of Light is miraged. I'm really glad I did physical mitigation, because now he's going to be basically out of the fight for a few turns. Alright, there's the threshold from 50%. The reflect thing went to Warrior of Light. This is something I hadn't really considered. What if Warrior of Light gets berserked when I need to do reflect? That's going to be a problem I'm going to have to solve for my global clear, and this is the reason I do test clears. Yeah, this is a weird scenario. We got really lucky that the reflect went on Warrior of Light, so he actually doesn't need to do anything because he's naturally immune. If that death had gone on someone else, like Cecil, this would have been a real bad problem. I'm gonna have to think of a solution for that for Thursday. But for now, we're fine because it went to Warrior of Light, and we're actually gonna probably even finish the fight right here. If I'm gonna be totally honest, we might. We are. Okay, so we finished the fight and it didn't really matter. And actually, I can kind of just burst the boss from 40 to dead with Palom too, so maybe that's really not a problem I have to worry about. Noctis can burst really hard too. Yeah, so I guess I don't have to worry about that problem. Okay, yeah, so we're fine. So fight 2, let's go ahead and get in here and put up all our buffs again. We're going to Mirage and Break. We're going to mitigate with Warrior of Light. Cecil is going to Spirit and Defense buff and cover. Folka is going to give us all the immunities. Now, Fight 2 has no ambush, so we don't have to worry about any of that kind of craziness. So we're going to go directly into dealing damage with our Dark Finas with their cooldown. And start dealing some damage. Alright, so we're losing a little bit of mana on the friend. I guess he's wearing a little bit less mana regen gear, so I'm going to have to use some regeneration with Folka, which is not a problem. So the thresholds on this fight are the same as the other one. It's going to be a threshold at 75, 50, and 25%. Alright, so the fight is a little dangerous until the babies start dying. They're probably going to die in the next 2 turns. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and swap stance. I'm going to refresh cover for the moment. You know, I should have done a magic mitigation. That was my mistake. On Cecil. I'll do a magic mitigation with Folka instead, which is fine. Yeah, Folka can do magic mitigation. For this turn is going to be some pretty painful hits. So we're going to magical mitigate with Folka, and let's do some mana regen at the same time. Do our damage first. Alright, so Cecil is definitely going to live here. We didn't push the threshold, so we're good there. Riku, let's go ahead and break and just fill some limit gauge. And Warrior of Light, let's pop a barrier for the team. So there's going to be a targeted death thingy again on this turn. And we'll use Warrior of Light to redirect it to himself. Alright, here's the damage I was talking about with Cecil. Yeah, we had Cecil's 75% mitigation and 30% magic mitigation with Folka, and that dealt a ton of damage. If you're not using Cecil on this fight, if you're using like Charlotte or something, you rarely want re-raise on turn 2 because, as you can see, it is crazy painful. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and keep dealing our damage for now. We're probably gonna. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna kill the small guys. Yeah, the small guys are dead. Okay, so once the small guys die, the damage on your magical tank is going to be significantly lower, and basically it's just not even a problem. Like, your magic tank is totally fine once the small ones all die. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. Yeah, we did get Reflect. Okay, so Reflect is going on Dark Fina. So we're going to use Cecil to top us off with Curasia, and we're going to Reflect himself. We'll use Paladin Cecil to re-raise both our Dark Finas because they are a little bit squishy, and we're going to do a what's it called? A magic buff for the team. We're going to use Folka to barrier and heal. Okay, we didn't push a threshold. The threshold is 75%, so we're going to push that next turn. But this turn, we're going to get like a Mysterious Sound Waves. It's a fixed attack that bypasses cover, so it's going to hurt a little bit. It also applies Charm, so make sure your team is using Charm immunity. Alright, that attack right there. It's actually good we didn't push the threshold, because the threshold plus the Sound Waves at the same time would have probably killed our Finas. We gave them re-raise, we kind of expected them to maybe take a lot of damage. But it's better to not die if possible, you know. Try to stay alive. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and push that threshold. I didn't even notice if the boss's Imperil had worn off. I might have to recast that. Oh, no, we're good. 2 more turns of Imperil. Okay. Riku, let's go ahead and Mirage and just fill some Limit Gauge for the party. Folka, let's... We don't need that mitigation. Let's do this. And Mana Regen. Does Warrior of Light still have Reflect? He does. He doesn't actually need healing on himself, so who cares? Go ahead and double cast some heals. We'll use Warrior of Light to top the team off. Actually, I want a barrier this turn. We pushed the threshold. Yeah, I want a barrier. So we're going to use a barrier instead. And we're actually not going to mana regen this turn. Oof. Cecil can double mana regen. It's fine. Cecil's going to hurt himself quite a bit, but I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He's at half health. But as long as the babies are dead, like, it's not really a big problem. Cecil's okay. When those babies start respawning, then Cecil's got to worry. Alright, there's the first respawn baby. So we're going to go ahead and break him with Riku. Hopefully she gets her Limit Burst here. If not, we'll just use her on-demand break. It's only 75%, but it's good enough. We actually might get it from Crystal Drops, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's have Fina reapply the Imperil. It's a little bit weaker Imperil than her cooldown, but her cooldown is not available right now. Alright, apparently Riku just hates getting crystals. So we're going to break with Riku and then reapply Mirage. Warrior of Light, let's go ahead and pop a big barrier. Cecil, we've got a baby alive, so now I want to start changing stance again. Because I don't want to get killed. Let's re-raise himself for the safety. Folka, we just did a barrier with Warrior of Light. So let's do a mana regen and a heal. Alright, so we did push the threshold, so this is going to be a little bit painful. Cecil's currently doing his stance changing, so he's not really in any risk. There's the thread, there's the Mirage. There's a targeting thing on the friends. We got, oh, hello. That hurt. I guess maybe mitigation were off and I'm just not paying attention. No, it's turn 5. Mitigation did wear off. I never used Cecil's Limit Burst. I only used Warrior of Light. The team had no mitigation that turn. That was the problem. That was the problem. Okay, so we're going to have to go ahead and drop a Limit Burst here. This is a little awkward because... Oh, actually, Fina died. Because she died, she lost that Reflect. So actually, we don't have to worry about that. So now we're going to use Warrior of Light to barrier and buff our defense and spirit. We're going to need to start doing Mirage every turn from this point forward, because once the boss goes below 40, he starts doing double physical AoE, which is really painful. Alright, so let's go ahead and start chaining. Now, we lost our Fanas because I'm just really forgetful and I didn't keep mitigations up. Let's do... Let me do my damage first and see if we go below 40. We might go below 40. If we do, I'm going to do a physical mitigation with Polka. We didn't, so we actually don't need physical mitigation. So we'll just do a barrier and a magical mitigation instead. I do want to start keeping mitigations up with Polka because the fight gets more dangerous as you go below 40%. The little guy should be dying kind of soonish. Not that soon actually. He's at 37%. Okay, now we're good. Alright, let me go ahead and use Warrior of Light to put up a longer duration physical mitigation. We'll use our cooldown to unlock Quadcast for a few turns. Riku, we still have Mirage from last turn, so we're actually going to take this moment to put up a bigger break. Cecil will do a longer duration defense and spirit buff, and we'll go ahead and swap stance again. Polka will give us some more immunities, and let's keep that barriers going. Alright, so now that we're below 40%, the boss is going to start doing a double Mirage. The next threshold's at 25%, so until then, we're kind of okay. Yeah, there's the second Mirage. So we avoided the first one. Alright, there's the mysterious sound waves. And here's the double death. Now, one of them went to Warrior's Light, so he doesn't need to reflect himself. And one of them went to Cecil. So we're going to have to put a reflect on Polka to redirect that second death from Cecil to herself. So we're going to use Warrior of Light. Normally we dual cast reflect on both himself and Polka, but because he was chosen for one of them, we don't have to do that. So we'll just reflect Polka, and that's going to absorb both the deaths. Riku, we need to Mirage, and we just did breaks a minute ago, so actually, is Riku's cooldown up? It's not. Okay, that's fine. So Riku will Mirage and just fill Limit Gauge a little bit. Cecil, we're going to re-raise both the Dark Venus, because we're going to push a threshold in a second, and this might be painful. Are we going to kill? We're actually going to kill the small ones, so I'm not going to worry about changing stance, because we don't need it as long as the small ones are dead. We're going to refresh cover, and we're going to stay in Dark stance. Alright, let's go ahead and quad cast Fire. Alright, so the small one's dead, so Cecil's now safe. We actually didn't push the threshold, which is, you know, whatever. I was kind of hoping we would this turn, but it's fine. It's actually fine that we didn't. So let's barrier and heal with Polka. Even though the team has Reflect, Polka's heals ignore Reflect. Her ability heals. Obviously, we can't use White Magic. Alright, so this was a single barrage turn, so next turn is going to be a double barrage, and we're also going to push a threshold, which means chances of Dark Fena's dying is very, very high. Yeah, we're pushing the final threshold, and it's going to be a double Mirage turn. Who has the worst defenses? I guess they're pretty equalish, honestly. How's our mitigation looking? Mitigation 3 turns. We're okay on that. Let's go ahead and Mirage and break. I'm trying to decide the best way to try to make these Fenas survive. I guess we'll barrier with Warrior of Light. We'll do physical mitigation with Polka. We're also... No, we're not going to do that. We're going to also do Mana Regen. We don't need healing. Cecil is going to... Oh, come on, Cecil. Not that. Oh, come on. Alright, Cecil's going to cover... we're going to swap stance now. We're going to refresh cover. Let's do our damage. Alright, so we're going to push that last threshold here. It's quite possible the Fenas die. I don't know. We'll see. We've got a barrier. We've got physical mitigation. We've got Warrior Light's defense buff. We've got Riku's breaks. There's the second Mirage. I think we'll be okay, actually. And here comes the threshold attack. Oh, no. It was the mysterious sound waves, too. Yeah, they're dead. They're dead. They're dead. Goodbye. It's fine, we had to re-raise, and the thresholds are now done. Unfortunately, a baby spawned, so we're going to have to deal with that as well. And the babies get really, really mad when the mom dies. But, you know, who cares? Alright, so we're going to imperil the baby and start chaining. We've got 3 turns to our quad cast back up, which is really annoying. So we did lose all our buffs, and they did the death thing as well. So Warrior of Light is actually can't do anything this turn. He's got to do his stuff. Oh, we've already got Reflect for 1 more turn. Okay, in that case, Warrior of Light can. Warrior of Light's not that. Come on, Warrior of Light's going to put up general mitigation for the people that died. Cecil is going to put up defense and spirit buff, and we're going to swap stance again. Polka is going to barrier and magic knit. Riku is going to break the new one that just spawned. Actually, Riku is going to do her cooldown break. I didn't realize it was back up. Let's cooldown break and Mirage and do our damage here. Alright, so we're probably not going to kill the queen because we just came back to life and we lost all our buffs and all our stacks. Next turn, I can use Cecil to give us a magic buff, which will help finish that off. We should be fine here. The thresholds are all complete. There's no more thresholds to worry about. The deaths were done to Warrior of Light and Polka because of the Reflect. Alright, so now we're just going to triple cast 2 more turns on that, which is fine. Alright, let's triple cast Fire. We don't have a magic buff right now, so we'll take care of that with Cecil, 180% magic. Let's go ahead and actually, we don't need to re-raise the friend, because once the queen dies, the friend, or the Thenas, will take 0 damage forever the rest of the fight. But we are going to keep swapping stance, because, like I said, once the queen dies, these babies can get real mad. Okay, queen's dead. Baby should be dead in 2 more turns. We don't need Mirage anymore, because the baby doesn't do AoE physical. Cecil's got general mitigation. We're good on that. Polka will just refresh all of this. And Warrior of Light will just drop a heal for the Cecil. At this point, no one's going to take damage except Cecil. It's all single target damage or damage we can cover. Yeah, as you saw, that one single baby by himself did 50% of Cecil's health. That's with 75% general and 30% magic mitigation. Like, this guy hurts. Alright, so we're going to pop a 75% magic damage reduction to take even less damage here. Alright, so we're going to win next turn. Polka will just double mitigate. Warrior of Light can just barrier for Cecil. And Riku, who cares? Okay, so there was it was pretty decent. It's a little bit slower on the second fight using mages. Obviously, they have less killers. The second fight has pretty high spirit as well. It's better for physical units. I might take Noctis instead. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, Cecil. Come on. Fight's over, dude. Fight's over. Alright. Goodbye, baby. Yeah, we're fine. 13 turns. The mission is to do it in 25 turns. Like, the turn limit is super forgiving. It's just, as long as you can survive, you're totally fine. Okay, so this team was effective. I liked it. I'm going to use this team on Global. The DPS will be undetermined. Either Noctis, Palom, maybe King Rain. Who knows? The DPS is really flexible. But that core support of Warrior of Light tank with all the buffs, Polka with the immunities, the barriers, the backup mitigations, Cecil for being just a god tier tank, and Riku for Mirage breaks and some backup healing as needed. That's a really good core team, and I'm going to take that. All right. I will see you guys on Thursday when this comes out. Later.